everybody. Welcome to Real Horror. This is the show where we discuss the horror movie of the week. And tonight we're discussing Trick or Treat. This movie came out in 2007. And because there are other movies that sound like that. This Trick or Treat, which we reviewed recently on Slash's channel, which that was fun. Thank you, Tommy, for the sound effects. But I want to say hi to my esteemed panel. Tommy, how's it going tonight?
It's going somewhere. It's going sideways. It's going left and right, and mostly it's just going. So greetings to everybody in the chat. Thanks for already coming and hanging out with us. Be sure to share the links out there to let everybody know that we're here, and kick back and have a little bit of fun with us.
Yes, thank you. And Vinny, how are you doing tonight?
I'm looking forward to a few laughs because the opposite has been today.
Yeah.
Well, I guess the whole day wasn't bad, but yeah.
Well,
there's been a part of it that's been just, it is what it is.
Well, hopefully this will give you like some rest. We'll have a good time.
Yeah, this movie was actually a lot of fun. I had not seen it until just the other day.
It's not bad for a newer movie, like a newer horror movie.
Yeah, and I wasn't expecting it to be like an anthology type thing.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
All right, let's say hi to some people in the chat. Nick, nice to see you. Thanks for being here. We'll get Tommy in the chat as well. And DeBeast, nice to see you. I hope everything is going well for you. So glad to see you again.
Oh, yeah.
And Soul Assassin, how's it going? Yes, please slash the like and share the stream out. Thank you very much. Good to see you.
People out there.
Yes.
Fantastic individuals.
Yep. Draven, how's it going? Draven can't be with us tonight because he is working. So that's a bummer, but I hope your night is going well, Draven.
I think he's just flying around Chris's apartment right now.
Tony, how's it going?
Hey, Tone, don't be a bigot.
Yeah, and I hope Draven has a positive night, not a negative one.
Bone, how you doing? Thank you for stopping by and dropping a like. And Solar Wooden, thank you for showing up. Nice to see you. All right, so I think that was everybody. And so we already mentioned that this is an anthology type movie. Mm-hmm. And it's kind of it's a little bit different. Like there are other anthology type horror movies like Tales of Halloween, and of course everybody knows Tales from the Crypt.
Oh yeah.
Creep Show type, those types of movies. Stories like anthologies and things like that. So yeah, this is a newer anthology.
But
movie.
you know what I do like about this one. The one thing I do like that they did in this one is, even though it's an anthology, it's like 4 individual stories and everything like that. All these stories do have tie-in points with every other story. There, even if it's only just one small scene, every single one of them has a tie-in moment. The other weird thing about this one is they did it kind of via Pulp Fiction, where it's not in order as they're telling all these different stories.
Yeah.
Yep. I know what you mean. That was cool.
Mm-hmm.
And the Gilkman, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah.
And,
Gilky.
yeah, nice to see you.
Yeah.
And Tony says Tales from the Hood was an anthology.
Yep. What? There were some good ones in there too. Corbin Burnson or whatever his name was. That was with the little puppets.
I don't know if I saw that one.
Oh my God. Yeah, I recommend it.
Yeah, I mean I've heard of it. I just don't know if I've seen it. Is it a funny movie?
There are elements that are, for sure. It's it's almost like blaxploitation mixed with like Tales from the Crypt.
God, the good old days, when people just didn't give a rat's ass, including the people that were filming it or starring in it, for that matter.
Well, yeah, people had fun with it, and it was an entertaining movie for sure.
I mean, you know what? They downplay a lot of those movies. I don't see as many people crying about how they did The Wiz.
Mm-hmm.
Technically, that sits right there in the blaxploitation movies, if you want to be technical about it. But I don't see nobody bitching about that one.
Right, for sure. And what's his name? Michael J. White. He still makes those type of movies, and they're awesome. You ever seen Black Dynamite? He's got a Western one coming out now too.
Yeah, but those are great.
Those are fantastic.
Well, technically, if you want to even get technical about that, Ice Cube continued it with the series with like Friday and some of the other movies he did. Are we there yet?
True.
It's stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Those are good movies.
They are.
Soul Assassin says seems anthologies work well with horror. Yeah, I think I think that formula does work. Does
anybody even realize why it works so well?
What is that?
Yeah. Tell us what you're thinking.
The easiest way to explain why it works so well is where do people hear a lot of scary stories? Like, what do you always hear about? They told these scary stories around a
campfire.
Like
exactly.
Campfire.
That's why
sleepover.
It works so well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're right. And those connecting elements are always great. Like they use that little alien sackhead kid thing, whatever. Like I like that he interacted with all of their stories. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Good connecting thread. And the one that he did with the Brian Cox's character, I won't spoil it yet, but
yeah,
like that was pretty cool. I like how they did that.
Yeah, I think Sam is a demon. Mm-hmm. He's like the evil spirit. He's like the spirit of Halloween. He's like he makes sure that the Halloween tradition like gets implemented correctly.
Well, that's why he gets so mad about the one scene with the pumpkin.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, two scenes. Because when they go down to the water, too, the kids.
Yeah. That's true.
They snuffed out the candles when they kicked them into the water.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. They disrespected, and that's when they got it. But that autistic girl, she was she like an actual little witch, like, or she was just. Yeah, she led them down there, didn't she?
Yeah, I think she had a bit of evil to her, and that's why. I might as well just get to it. I think that's why her and Sam, when they kind of looked at each other, they were like
mutual respect.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, she did a little nod, like, "Hey, what's up?"
Yeah. Like, how's it going? I'm keeping the tradition alive for you.
How's work tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. We're keeping the little demons fed.
Yep.
Yeah, that was some good stuff. And that surprise too later on was great. Again with the Brian Cox part. And I do like that. Like Tommy was saying, a little bit Pulp Fiction type of storytelling where it's a little disjointed like that because you got good surprises, and how certain characters met their demise.
Yeah.
That was good.
Hey, Time Prophet, how's it going? Nice to see you.
What up? And thanks to Soul Assassin for dropping links as always. Really do appreciate that.
Absolutely.
That's why I call him the mod extraordinaire. But yeah, I like the way this movie was done. Yeah, I like how they did they jumped around a little bit. And you could see, and then when they did that, you could see how things were all tied together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that kind of is unique to this anthology because other anthologies are kind of separate stories, maybe like set in the same town or same area or whatever, but they're not necessarily interconnected. All of these guys in this movie were like there was some connection, not pretty much all of them. Yeah. There was some kind of connection, and not just because of the little demon Sam, but like just circumstances in general.
Yeah, because you had the principal, the connection with his neighbor, which is
Mhm.
connected to the Sam thing as well. And then like the principal had that connection with Anna Paquin's story. Like they're all cool little things like that.
Yep.
But it worked. And then like the weakest one was the blonde chick in the robot suit. I forgot what that.
Oh yeah, the couple at the beginning.
Yeah. Like that
Yeah.
was the weakest part, but it was kind of like just to get you into the story.
Yeah.
Which I get, but like yeah, they felt like a leftover kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like I know they wanted them kind of bookends, but I felt like that should have been fleshed out a little bit more.
Yeah.
If I had to give a critique, but yeah, no, it was still good though. I like how they did it, and definitely the Brian Cox bit that felt like an episode right out of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, definitely.
That type of story, which it was cool. I dug it.
And hey, Toy Mafia, thanks for stopping by. Hope you're doing well.
What's up?
Oh no, Time Prophet's talking about that horrible trick or treat. Ugh.
Trick or treat, yeah, we did that one on Slash's channel. That was a fun review.
I did not see that one.
That's a whole bunch of time I want back.
Yeah, for the few different reasons.
Hmm.
Hey, Stig, how's it going?
What up, Steve?
Hope you're doing well today. So yeah, and the funny part, well, I should say I thought it was creative how the movie started off with that couple, the girl in the robot and the robot suit, and the guy, I don't know what the heck he was dressed as, but they're talking about.
He was like a knight of some sort.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because it was supposed to be like a male armor that he was wearing.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I wasn't really sure what he was, but yeah, it was creative how they started off with that, and then it ended with that.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like it came full circle, the story.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That it was pretty creative writing, and I was hoping there would be a sequel, and I know that there's been like a few talks about doing a sequel, and the writer Michael Dougherty wanted to do a sequel like as soon as this one came out, but for some reason it just hasn't been done. I don't know, maybe it didn't.
I think part of the problem is they didn't make as much money as they were hoping to make it on this one.
Yeah.
With that box office return, that really doesn't justify a sequel.
Yeah, unfortunately, yep.
What was the box office?
It was about twice. It was because the budget was what, 12 million or
12. So it was like 12.9, and I think they got
27.
27.9, I think it
Oh.
was. Yeah,
Yeah.
27.9. So
Yeah, so it just underperformed,
Yeah.
and it's too bad because I think that there is definitely potential. Like I'd love to see Sam as, like I'd love to see his story fleshed out, like as him as a demon, like maybe not so much an origin story, but just some more of him.
I mean, they could do completely separate stories, and they could
Mhm.
actually have him throughout time.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it could, because I don't think he like, didn't it seem like he could be in multiple places at the same time? Because
Yeah, kind of. I mean, I felt like he was like a mascot throughout the picture.
yeah. Because remember when the girls, well, not just the girls, but that group of kids, they took the jack-o'-lanterns to the rock quarry,
Mhm.
and then, like we mentioned, that girl Rhonda left them all down there, and she came up, and Sam was there. But when the kids were there, I think it was like right before they went down, they said werewolves. And if you remember, we see later on when we see the werewolves, Sam is there as well.
Yeah, he's just like sitting on a tree stump watching, or a rock or something.
Yeah, it's a tree, little log, and so it seems like he could be anywhere.
Hmm.
Well, at the same time, the guy who's in the vampire suit
Mhm.
is getting taken out by that wolf, that werewolf. Sitting, he had interacted with him earlier. Technically, I mean, not directly, but technically through the neighbor, because he was right there while he was burying that kid in his backyard.
Yeah,
Mhm. That's true. Yeah, he was in the house.
yeah,
That was a really cool scene too.
yeah, very much.
Yeah, and I am curious too because he was crawling on the ceiling at one point too. So
Yeah.
it would have been cool to see a little more of his backstory, of what he actually is.
Yeah, definitely. I'd love to see more of them.
Because that whole thing with the regeneration thing and the hand, like that was pretty cool. I wasn't expecting that, and he was actually like his insides were like the insides of a pumpkin.
Yeah, yeah, he's like a little pumpkin demon. He's very cool, and yeah, I agree, Soul Assassin. That's kind of my take on what Sam is too. Evil version of the spirit of Halloween. Yeah, and the Beast says it's too bad we're giving up good brainworm horror movies that keep you freaked out for the TikTok style jump scares. Yeah, for real. Yeah, I agree. It is a shame. Time Prophet. I actually prefer the Leprechaun movies with Warwick Davis culturally appropriating a bad Irish accent. Oh man, I can't tell if an Irish accent is bad or not.
I've heard a couple doozies in my day.
That was Warwick Davis.
I think so. Yeah,
He did them all.
I thought he did.
Wow. Well, good
Well,
for him.
we will have to double check on that, but I thought he did.
I think I only seen one of those.
Yeah, I was not a big fan of those.
And I say he was definitely in the first one.
Oh, okay. Time Prophet is saying he did them all except for the last one.
Okay.
Okay.
Did he get his leg broken or something by the guy who wanted to take his place? Sorry.
Hornswoggle.
Uh-oh.
Hornswoggle was the leprechaun. It must have been in the last one.
Oh, okay. Oh, he actually did. Oh, I thought you were making a joke. Oh, he actually did take his place.
Yeah.
Interesting. No wonder he was all pissed at what's his name, the one for Game of Thrones, when they were talking about that Snow White movie.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, you're taking work from everyone. Yes. Son
Yep.
of a bitch.
That what the heck is that guy's name? He played
Tyrion.
Tyrion.
I can't remember his name either right now.
What the heck is his name?
I'm kind of glad I don't remember it.
Peter Dinklage.
Okay, yeah. We should have got that. Dinklage.
Yeah, this little soul assassin, the Dink.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I was reading some trivia about this movie, and there was a couple of things that really I thought were cool. Is there's some John Carpenter references in this movie. The woman Laurie, played by Anna Paquin, Little Red Riding Hood.
Yeah.
Her name is Laurie. They named her because of Laurie Strode.
Nice.
Yeah, and then that guy Billy. Oh no, what's his name? His last name is Cox.
Brian Cox?
Brian Cox. Yeah. what was his name in this movie? I think it was Krieg.
Oh,
Yeah, I think it was Krieg. But he says at one point when he sees the hand, the little Sam's hand like moving on its own, he goes, "You gotta be effing kidding me," and that's actually a nod to The Thing. Remember when you remember that?
yeah, I remember it in that movie, but where was the part?
So it was in so they were in that like lab I don't know if it was a lab. It seemed like a lab type area, and they thought that they had like killed it, and then they see a little thing like go by them
On the floor.
on the floor. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I think that's
Yeah. And he says, "You gotta be effing kidding me."
Mm-hmm. Nice.
And then they set it on fire.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
Yeah, I like when they pay respect to what came before them.
yeah, definitely. And then you remember that part where the girls are getting in their costumes in the dressing room,
Mhm.
and there's a little kid peeping on them?
Yep.
That's the kid that played Sam.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And I kind of had a feeling when I was watching the movie that was him, because he had a lollipop and everything.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I was like,
There was something else that I thought may have been a nod. Now I don't know if it's actually confirmed or not, but remember all the masks the kids in the bus that were drowned?
yep.
I swore I seen a skeleton, a pumpkin, and a witch.
Oh, on the bus?
I thought
Really?
I did. Or I'm thinking about her dressed up as a witch, but I thought I seen something with a pumpkin and a skeleton, and that would actually tie into Halloween. I mean, granted, the shittier Halloween, Halloween 3, but it would still tie in with Halloween.
Yeah.
What's up with that one? I haven't seen it, and people are either like they absolutely love it or they absolutely hate it.
I just didn't like it because it wasn't Myers. I mean, they get 2 movies with Myers, and the third one has really nothing to do with him at all.
Oh, okay.
Has
Hey,
to do with
Papa.
these masks by this company that are like brainwashing kids.
Yeah, I like Halloween 3. I don't think it gets enough love. No, it's not a Michael Myers movie, and that threw a lot of people off. But it's a good movie in its own right. It really does have a good story. I've actually thought about doing it this month.
Okay.
So neither one of you have. Wait, Tommy, did you say you saw it?
I watched some of it. I hated it so much I turned it off and never watched it again.
Okay, all right. So we won't do that one then.
Yeah.
Well, you could do it. I just don't have nothing to say about it.
Yeah,
See,
I've never seen it at all. So
yeah. See, I actually, I did. I thought it was a good movie, but yeah.
I know Pete loved it, and so does his son. I think it's one of their favorite ones.
Well, Chris also likes it. Fisk.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, because he was talking about that before, because that was actually supposed to be the same thing originally that he had in mind for that. He was going to do a bunch of anthology stories around Halloween time.
Yeah.
And it really wasn't supposed to be Myers.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't know what to do for the second movie, so I guess they just continued the Myers story.
Right.
And then there was such a backlash over it because, okay, you have Myers in 2 movies here. You're telling his story, and now you're just doing something else. So that's why in part 4, they bring Myers back.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the fans were really upset that Myers was gone. And that's why they went back with Myers. Carpenter wanted to be done with Michael Myers.
That's interesting.
RR, how's it going? Nice to see you.
What up,
What's
RR?
up?
Yeah, he says Halloween 3, The Season of the Witch, was a good horror movie, but it's not a good capital H Halloween movie. Yeah, it's not. Yeah, because it's not Michael Myers.
Yeah.
But it's a good Halloween time movie.
That's good.
I think.
Yeah.
Tommy doesn't like it, but
I mean, like, I'm not against giving it a chance. I haven't had a chance to look it up or anything. Those Saw movies kind of wasted a lot of time. I had them all while I'm working, and I'm like, some of them were interesting and kind of cool, and then like those last couple were terrible. Like, I stopped on 7, like where it was supposed to be the final one. I'm not watching Spiral, and Jigsaw looks stupid. From the trailer.
yeah, Spiral. You don't really need to see Spiral. I liked Jigsaw.
Jigsaw
but-
was good.
I liked it, but I
Is it
like
just a copycat or something? That's what it looked like from the trailer.
no,
Holy
I don't.
crap! Look at that. Something the Time Prophet and I agree on.
I'm like that with Hostel. I got no desire to see Hostel.
No, I will not watch that.
Yeah. And Saw, like, I thought from what I heard was kind of the same. And other people said no, there's actually a better story in there. All you really have to do is watch the first one. I mean, if you want a little more out of it, like I didn't hate them, but I think 1, 2, and 3 should have been enough. I think it was unnecessary to do the last 4 of them or whatever it was.
Well, it does get repetitive. Yeah, it definitely does get repetitive. I do like the storyline in them though. I love how each movie is connected.
Well, the last couple felt more like a TV series rather than film. You know, like when they follow the dirty cop.
Yep.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like, and he's a good actor. That's kind of why I continue watching him. I've seen the guy in a couple other things. Yeah, he's pretty good. I'll watch it, but yeah, by the time they get to that last one, and you had the guy from the Boondock Saints, like, who made up the story or whatever, that he was a victim that got away and he wasn't, and like, I get the punishing of him, but it felt very kind of just tacked on. Like, in the middle of Kramer's story, he decides, okay, I'm gonna make this guy suffer. Like, he's got this other big plan and whatever he's doing, and then he's just gonna like single out this guy. It was weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you guys, when it came to the scene with the girls that were werewolves, is that what you thought they were? Because originally I thought that they were going to be witches.
I thought that too at first, but when I saw her with the super strength over the guy, I'm like, oh, okay, I think I know what she is. And especially if they went with the Red Riding Hood motif for her.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
Once you see one of them, yeah, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, that's easily discernible now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a feeling they were werewolves when one of them was Little Bo Peep and one of them was Red Riding Hood. Because Wolf going after lambs, and then Red Riding Hood, the big bad wolf.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was thinking werewolves.
What was the other one?
Snow
White?
Snow White, yeah.
And that makes sense too, because wasn't the huntsman hunting wolves?
Oh yeah.
I can't remember.
Pretty sure he did. The Huntsman had some kind of connection with that.
Oh, Pumpkinhead. RR says I was just rewatching Pumpkinhead a couple nights ago. I forgot Stan Winston directed it. He should have been given more opportunities to direct. Pumpkinhead is very underrated.
Okay.
I like that one.
Oh.
I can't remember. I know they did at least one more, or they did do 2 more.
I think. They just put out a Blu-ray or something of it.
Nice. Yeah, Soul Assassin. I always said werewolves should be women.
Oh shit! They did 4 Pumpkinheads.
4? Holy crap!
Yeah, so they got Pumpkinhead 2, Blood Wings, Pumpkinhead Ashes to Ashes in 2006, and then Pumpkinhead Blood Feud in 2007.
Interesting.
Have you seen those movies, Vinny?
I think part of the first one I've seen.
It's pretty good.
Does he have like big wings in that at some point?
I Oh man, I don't think so. Does he have wings, Tommy?
I don't remember having wings. No.
Yeah, I don't remember. I think he's just like a ghoul,
Okay.
like not a winged beast.
Yeah, in the origins that they told him, he's supposed to be the spirit of vengeance.
Yep.
Okay. So he's Batman.
Well, in the comics, they actually do a whole thing for all the other spirits too that are associated with how Pumpkinhead gets raised. There's a bunch of other ones that get raised the same way.
Oh, I didn't know they did a comic. I met Stanley once, or Stan Winston rather.
Cool.
Oh, there it is. Soul Assassin's mentioning it too.
Nice. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with that franchise. I mean, I had the figure too from McFarlane. He looked pretty good back then.
Oh, dude, you don't still have it?
That's a tough one. If I go through, because I have one really big bin, I'd have to go through and double check. I'm not sure if I still do.
I would love for them to reissue Pumpkinhead.
That would be great. I'm surprised freaking NECA hasn't done it yet, to be honest.
I know.
I mean, that guy was responsible for getting most of those licenses. That guy Randy, so I'm pretty sure he was there around that time.
Jesus, that's a big one. Why are these links always so large for this? That's the one with all the Pumpkinhead comics.
So let's okay, so we talked about the first story where she blows out the jack-o'-lantern and then we don't actually see who it is, but someone gasps and we see like someone walking toward them in like a we see the camera through a mask, like a sack.
Mm-hmm.
But at that point, we don't know who it is. I like how they did that.
Yeah, they had a lot of good kind of transitions from shot to shot too.
Mm-hmm.
On top of like some of the cool kind of ideas that they came up with.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dug it.
I just love Sam because like he's like this Halloween demon, but he's a kid, and which makes perfect sense because Halloween is for kids.
Mm-hmm.
And after he like knocks that woman out, the one in the beginning, he's like dragging her and he's like going like a little kid.
Yeah.
And it just sounds so funny.
It was pretty great. Oh, I found is this open? Hold on. Open in a new.
I think it's funny too that because at some point, what else? He's dragging that bag around, the bag of candy.
Yep. His huge sack of candy.
But then he also he had the razor blades in the candy. That didn't it come from his sack that he threw all down the stairs?
That the bad candy came from the
guy in the
Principal
house.
Wilkins. Because remember he that fat kid that was smashing the jack-o'-lanterns, he sits down and
he ate the poison one.
Yeah. And he's like, another tradition is checking your candy. So I think like bad candy came from that guy's house.
Had the neighbor get it? I thought Sam had his sack and he threw the candy from that was inside of it, and it was like all messed up stuff like that. Because remember he was crawling, the bus driver dude was crawling and he kept snapping him and breaking them into his hands and stuff, the razors and all the other stuff.
I'm thinking that Sam probably took it from the neighbor's house.
Maybe you're right, Tommy. It's a good question. Yeah,
because I mean, I figured he just poisoned the one. I didn't think that he had like a whole bunch of stuff.
Well, wasn't that sack originally the fat kid? Because remember, he was
No.
dragging that sack around in the beginning.
No, the fat kid had a pillowcase.
Oh, did he have a pillowcase? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Sam's sack is different.
Oh, and the fat kid is the same one that was in Bad Santa.
He looked familiar. All right, that makes sense. But I know, yeah, because the principal, he hands him a full candy bar, and that's what the fat kid was eating. He didn't have it because you remember when he went back inside, and then the little ones, the smaller ones, were knocking on his door, and he just had like regular candy that was in the bowl. They all got. He didn't give them big ones. He only gave the fat kid like the full size candy bar. So I was assuming he just poisoned that one.
I don't think Sam has tainted candy in his bag. Like, he definitely doesn't hand out candy. He takes candy.
Okay.
Because remember when
Yeah, he did. He was with a group of them. Like he was like the last one, and he grabbed one from someone's house as well.
Well, not only that, but when he goes to kill the old guy, and he stabs the candy bar instead, then he gets the candy bar off the end of the knife and starts eating it, and that's when he leaves him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So it's almost like appeasing the spirit in some sort of way,
I
whether
guess
you're
so.
keeping your jack-o'-lanterns lit or whether you hand them candy.
Right.
Yeah, you have to keep the spirit alive.
Mm-hmm. By the way, in the private chat, I put a photo of the McFarlane.
Yeah, I seen that. It looks pretty sharp.
Yeah. Yeah, he looked
Okay.
really good. I remember that thing.
Oh, that looks awesome. All right, let me show it.
Mhm.
Let me show it to people.
He's actually got hinged shoulders too.
Yeah. For back then, that was kind of a surprise.
Because how cheap Mr. Tuna is.
Well, yeah, and he's just he was against certain joints and things.
Now, Soul Assassin asks, has that ever happened with tainted candy during Halloween?
I've heard stories of when I was younger, and it was a big thing about inspecting all the candy.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I would sit down with my father every Halloween, inspect all the candy, and then 11 years later, when my brother was born, and he started finally trick or treating, I delegated myself as the official candy checker and got a 15% cut for checking all his candy.
So I think I don't know if it ever actually happened, but it was such a widespread urban legend that that's just what we did. We checked the candy first, which I think is good practice anyway. I mean, you're taking candy from strangers. I mean, back when Tommy and I were kids, and a little bit like Vinny came a little bit later. Vinny's the baby now. He's
Thanks, big sis.
We used to get we would get apples and stuff like that. Like we would get singular candies. Like most Halloween candies are now like packaged a certain way for like single packages. They weren't all like that when we were kids.
Yeah.
You remember that?
They had done them differently, and what I remember too, a couple of times, they had like these little kind of like gift bags, and they'd have like a couple Tootsie Rolls, a lollipop. Some people even put like some pennies in there, or like a roll of pennies or something. Like it was crazy, and they did like little gift bags in certain neighborhoods. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
But I never really seen full size candy bars. I heard that's just like in super rich neighborhoods. So yeah, I was never privy to that. But then you're right. They started doing like the little with like little Mr. Good bar and the Hershey ones that are, like you said, those little tiny single ones.
Yeah, and there were a few houses in the neighborhood I grew up in where they would hand out baked goods.
Oh, nice!
Like homemade baked goods.
Yeah, there was one German lady that lived when I was really young. She was like all the way up the street and around the block, and like she had this awesome little yard too. Oh my God, I don't know. She just, I guess we were really cute when we were small because holy shit, she was always giving us whatever she had. She'd give us candy. She'd bring us cookies that were like baked and shit. I'm like, oh my God.
Oh, here you go, guys. I found something. I found a couple things here. So in 1964, a New York woman named Helen Fail was arrested for handing out things like ant poison and dog biscuits to kids.
Jeez.
Jesus
So
Christ.
no children were poisoned during the incident, but law enforcement didn't find her action funnies. The most infamous Halloween poisoning took place on October 31st, 1974. That's when a Texas man named Ronald O'Brien gave cyanide-laced pixie sticks to 5 children, including his son. The other children never ate the candy, but his 8-year-old son, Timothy, did and died soon after.
Jeez.
Oh my God.
Oh, these people are demented.
Hey, Scrambles, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight.
So even though all these people debunk it and say it never happened, it has happened on small scale. And I think maybe just not reported because they don't want the general public to get all kinds of up in arms about it.
Yeah.
And it's probably like, and then word got around like this happened. So then it became a widespread thing. Like, you'll get razor blades in your candy, so you better like check everything. The Soul Assassin has a story. One time my brother, cousin, and me were given cookies from a lady while trick-or-treating, and we instantly ate them, and I was like, crap, we're either gonna die or get high. LOL, nothing happened.
Nice.
See, and that was going around for years. Like, your kids are going to be given edibles on Halloween. Make sure you check their candy. Like, dude, anybody that buys edibles knows that they're too expensive to give out on Halloween like that. Like, nobody's doing that.
Right.
What's
Yeah,
up, Scrambles?
maybe the really rich areas. Hey, baby, what's the fentanyl? I mean, chocolate lace fentanyl. I mean,
Oh, man.
I'll tell you, you know what you got to worry about trick or treating. You got to worry about getting poisoned because they always try to sneak those popcorn balls into the big
Yes.
candy bars. I hate popcorn balls with a passion.
Man, those freaking popcorn balls, they would instantly go right in the trash.
yeah, there's a few candies I did that with. Anything with raisins in it, no thanks.
I know, they would give those little tiny box of raisins. I was like, when I was a kid, I hated raisins.
There was one old lady who was giving out little boxes of prunes.
Oh my God. You know what it is? They probably felt like they weren't going to get any trick-or-treaters and they just went into their own stash. Like, what do we got? Oh, I got these prunes.
Yep.
You know, when I was a kid, though, my grandmother used to give these damn things out, and you don't see them quite as often anymore. But do you remember the barley pops?
No.
So they were barley lollipops. They got a very distinct taste on them.
Can't say. Maybe
Never heard of them.
If I saw them, I might recognize them. There's a few candies like I wasn't really too familiar with the names, but seeing them, like I'm like, oh yeah, I think I've had those before. What's up, Scrambles?
I'm going to look up barley pops.
Yeah, they're really weird tasting, like because they're not like a traditional lollipop. I mean, they most of the time they look like them, but yeah, the way you eat them and the way they taste is 10 times different than a regular lollipop. They're very weird. I don't even know how to describe that taste. But I didn't mind them. I didn't mind them when I was a kid. Usually, most of the ones you see, they would come in shapes of animals like roosters and stuff like that.
Yeah, I'm looking on Google right now, and I mean, it looks familiar. They just look like shaped lollipops. I didn't know they had a specific name. Barley pops. Yeah, I've never heard that name before.
There you go, Vinny, in the private chat for you.
Okay. Yeah, I was just about to type. Let me see. Yeah, I was curious.
Yeah, there's absolutely Soul Assassin. There's a lot of candy back in the day that isn't made
Okay.
anymore.
Yeah, the craft beer ones. I remember those. I've had those.
R says barley pops are an acquired taste. Why? What do they taste like? Does it taste like barley, like beer?
Well, the barley pops themselves definitely have a different taste. Like they don't taste as sweet as a regular lollipop.
Mm-hmm.
They definitely got more like that weird, like I don't know if it's a grainy flavor or what it is, but it's definitely different.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I would suggest like you could probably find something local where they have like old time candy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Just ask them. Like if you have oh Jesus, what's that restaurant? The one that's got the barrel, Cracker Barrel. If you go into a Cracker Barrel, they will have barley pops. I guarantee it. They will have them in their little candy section.
Okay. Yeah. All right. The lobster I've had, the beer ones, and the soda. Those I've had. The other ones I can't recall if I ever did.
Yeah, or yeah, they're not really sweet like the regular lollipops. I mean, it's not to say they don't have a little like sweet taste to them, but they're not really sweet.
Yeah.
They're not bitter either. They're just it's just odd. It's very odd.
Mm-hmm.
That's strange. Okay, so what was your favorite segment to the movie? Tommy, we'll start with you.
I want to say it was the kids. I just thought that was the most interesting story.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the one that had like a really good tie into the old guy at the end too, because you don't find out the rest of the story until you see him burning the picture with the bus and everything. So,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then of course, kids show up on his doorstep. Just when you think everything's fine for him, all the dead kids show up on his doorstep.
Yeah, me too. I'm with you on that. I loved that. That was a big reveal. How about you, Vinny? What was yours?
Pretty much. I mean, yeah. I like that whole thing, how it connected like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, like I said, it felt like a Tales from the Crypt story, but
Yep.
you kind of got both sides to it. And like I said, that introduction of like Rhonda and the other kids, like how it was kind of just like that kind of spooky story thing about these ones who went off the ravine and whatnot. And then you actually see it down there. But they did have a major mistake. When it happened and the bus went off, it went face first. And then later when you get down there and part of it's sticking up, like out of that bog area and in that ravine, it's the front of it is sticking out, not the back.
Well, no, yeah, but that actually can be explained too. I mean, once it hits the water,
it flipped.
It could flip after it went down. It could have flipped.
I mean,
also, if the water level changed at some point, so it could have caused it to move around a little bit. I mean, there's a lot of factors you put in there, and I mean, even though it's not how it landed initial, it could have changed positions.
Yeah, because the way that I pictured it is if it went in like that, it'd be either still ass up, depending again if it gets stuck. Because it seemed like it got stuck in there, but it would be either that or on one side completely. You know what I mean?
I know, you can hear it in his voice.
Yeah. That's a thin argument.
So if any of you guys in the chat, if you haven't seen this movie, the segment we're talking about in the movie with the bus going off the cliff, we're talking about in the movie, it's well, there's a legend in town. It's a true. It ends up being we find out it's a true story, and it's a legend about a bunch of parents with special needs kids that are just too much to handle. The kids get fed up. I mean, the parents get fed up with the kids, and one day instead of the bus driver driving them to school, they all pitched in a bunch of money and paid the bus driver to drive the kids off the cliff on the from the abandoned quarry. So it kind of, the plan went a little bit awry, but it did still end up working. One of the kids, because it flashes back to that day, and one of the kids got really freaked out and was like, I want to go home. I want to go home. So he gets in the driver's seat, and of course he doesn't know how to drive. So he puts it in drive and goes straight off the cliff, and with the bus driver in it as well. And we see, like, and this story is being told while the kids from present day are doing their thing at the quarry. They're setting the girl Rhonda up to kind of scare her to death, not literal death, but just scare the bejesus out of her. And it shows the kids in present day, and one of the kids goes, "What happened to the bus driver?" And we see when the bus crashes into the water that the bus driver makes it out. He ends up making it to, like, out of the lake and onto the land. And but we don't know what happens to him after that, or who he is.
To that last story.
Yep.
And and the smart thing I like that they did too is that they were like, that whole thing about those kids on the bus, they were like special needs and autistic and problematic or whatever. And who's the one that kind of led them, the new ones, to their demise? It was a girl who was autistic.
Yep.
Like I like that. That was very like Tales from the Crypt. It
was so poetic justice. It was beautifully written.
Yep.
And it's not a thin explanation, Vinny. For the flipping action. All right, you ready? The most famous sinking in the world. The two ends of the Titanic, one goes down bow first, the other one goes down stern first, and then they flip in the water.
But it's split, and that way they fill with water. That would be
as they go down, they go straight down, and then the parts flip, and they flip into a different position.
Yeah, because the balance is all off because it's split in half. This was literally, again. Well, we know how that happened, and it wasn't no iceberg. Oh God! But yeah, no. It's well, again, yeah, it's a quarry. I mean, isn't it supposed to be like the water's supposed to be drained and shit? So wouldn't other stuff be happening?
It's possible.
Listen, I'm no engineer, so I don't know.
Yeah, I've never worked in a rock quarry, so I really don't know how things go there.
Yeah, you really got to get out more.
You're not wrong.
I mean, really, you're not wrong at all. I know that the water at a rock quarry is always beautiful, though, because all the minerals in it. Maybe that's not minerals, but it always looks cool.
I saw something on the one who played Sam. Apparently, he's on Twitter, and I was just looking through the timeline, and back in February, they said this Geek Vibe Nations said that Winona Ryder has reportedly been cast as the lead in Michael Daughtry's Trick or Treat sequel.
No way! So they ended up finally settling on doing a sequel?
I guess so. I mean, the kid himself retweeted this, so maybe it's actually happening.
Oh man, that's awesome! It's been so long, though. God.
Yeah, that was back in February, when that info dropped.
All right, that's awesome. Yeah, because I kept reading, like, yeah, they would talk about sequel, then it was squashed, and then talks again, and it got squashed, and yeah, no one wanted to touch it.
So, I mean, where do you think that's going to sit? I mean, do you think it's going to be people are going to be like fondness and want to go see it, or do you think it's going to be so far removed that nobody's going to go see it?
I don't know. Well,
that's a very good question.
It's going to depend on the cast, I think. And if you got Winona Ryder, that's pretty good because she's pretty hot right now still because of Stranger Things, and people want to see her kind of make a little bit of a comeback.
Yeah. Yeah, Yeah, that could be. That could be.
Mhm. It said the follow-up is very active. It's in very active development right now.
Amazing.
So
I hope we get to see more of like a backstory of Sam.
that would be cool. It's yes, it's the writer director Michael Daughtry.
Yeah.
It just says it just keeps saying it's a sequel to the 2007 film. I can't believe it was that long ago.
I know. Feels like forever. Soul Assassin has a question. Did anyone ever figure out this story order? I remember the first guy saw the old man being attacked in the house in the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah, they actually you figure out the story order at the very end.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
the first one is actually last.
yeah. Yep.
Yep.
And it's kind of yeah. It I can see why people are kind of confused about it, because in some ways it doesn't seem linear, and then in other ways it does.
Mm-hmm. I'd say the first one would have to be the principal.
Yeah, because
no,
Well,
the principal,
technically the
no,
kids.
no, the principal. Well, would it be the principal? Would be the first one?
Well, it would
Hold
if
on.
you're going all the way back, it would be the kids because again, the
No,
it happened
wait a minute.
years ago.
No, you know, I think you might be right. It might be the principal,
Mm-hmm.
and
'Cause
then after that, it's the girl and the little kids. You know, the
Mhm.
witch.
Yep.
Then it's the old man. Because
Yep.
then it's the werewolves.
The werewolves.
The werewolves has got to be after. It's
Yeah,
got to be after the old man,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
the old
because he
man
meets
looks
his
through his
demise.
window and he sees him standing there. He's calling out to him.
Yep.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still alive when the neighbor is getting beat up by Sam.
Mm-hmm.
So actually, no, wouldn't that make the story with the witch girl first then?
No.
But while that's happening, we hear the werewolves.
Yeah.
I don't think it's linear.
It looks like it's principal first. Then it goes into. It could be it's the start of the kids, and the werewolves. I think the kids and the werewolves are happening sort of at the same time.
Well, at the same time that it starts off with the principal, remember,
Hmm.
that's where you got the scene with the old man.
Yeah.
Yeah, the old man's being attacked when. So the very beginning, I'll still say it is the principal. Then you could have it could be like again like those kids they're coming out of the house because it's the start of their night, but the start of their night also interacts with what's going on because then it goes back to the principal. Since the principal's going after he buries the fat kid, he goes back around the house from the front, and then he sees the neighbor being attacked. Well, he caught a glimpse of he's screaming for help
Through the window, yeah.
Yeah. And then, after he's done doing what he's doing in the house, then he goes out on the town, and you see him again. He's spoiler alert. He's dressed like the masked guy or whatnot, the Dracula shit. And he gets lured away. But as that's happening, you also go back to the little kids that are now at the quarry and whatnot. You're right. There's a lot of kind of cross interactions.
It's very crossing over at a lot of the same time frames in a lot of these different things.
Right.
Yeah.
Maybe we should watch it again and then follow where Sam is. Maybe that.
God, can you imagine the chop job you would have to do to make this a linear movie?
Right.
With certain scenes.
It was good. I mean, again, they did a damn good job with it. I was surprised. I wasn't expecting a movie that was going to be that good.
When you think about the movie and just how we're trying to figure out the timeline of events, think about the creative process that went into writing it.
Yeah.
That really is
that means that they were paying attention to every single story that was on the table. Like, how can we all make these interconnected? Okay, where do we make them interconnected so they kind of make sense in the telling of each individual story?
Yep.
Yeah, because even in between that, with that overlap, when you see the werewolf girls. Oh, actually, yeah, it would be the werewolf girls would be first
No,
because you see
No,
them
it
in the
can't
no,
be.
because they're killing the principal.
Yeah.
No. Well, no. It's no, like I said with the overlap, it would be them first because they're in the changing rooms and stuff. That's before the night even started. Then you
Oh,
go.
okay.
Then you go to the principal. It's like that. It's kind of back forth a little bit. Because then there's a certain point where again you have 2 or 3 stories happening all at the same time.
Yeah.
Pretty good stuff though. I mean, I gotta say, like they did a damn good job.
What's up, Gap?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's non-linear narrative. Yeah, because they're
Mhm.
crossing over so much.
Yeah. Hey, Gab. Thanks for being here. Nice to see you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty much how it seems. It's non-linear because
Mhm.
yeah, you've got Sam appearing in different spots at seemingly the same time.
Yeah. Which
And
again, like you said, they got to go back more into what Sam actually is and how that
yeah,
all plays out. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
yeah,
He's got human hands, then yet he's got like the kind of weird demon pumpkin mixed head and whatnot.
yep.
His
And he's got
insides are all
yep, yeah, and he's got pumpkin filling.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because when he gets shot, it seeds and like pumpkin flesh comes out.
Sam sounds delicious.
Yeah, this is a surprisingly good movie, Gap, for a modern horror movie. It's surprisingly good.
Yeah.
Sam, I like that. I like that theory. Sam is the spawn of Pumpkinhead. You could almost see it actually.
Oh, that's great.
But
God,
yeah,
what was the name of his son? Now I'm thinking about what was the name of his son in Pumpkinhead.
oh, dude.
It wasn't Sam, was it?
Okay, I'm gonna have to look that up because now I can't remember.
And his son was a little special too. Oh no, it's another tie-in.
Okay, so the young boy that dies is Billy Harley.
Okay. Well, damn it, Billy. Billy. He should have drank his juice.
Oh, Billy.
Tommy was the son?
Well, apparently they did some comic books too
Well, yeah.
on Trick or Treat. Yeah.
You know, in all horror, in all 80s horror, there's someone named Tommy.
What can I say? We're assholes no matter where we are.
Oh snap!
Look at Jarvis. That's a jerk ball.
Was he though? I liked Tommy Jarvis.
Oh, he was a bit of a dickbag. Come on. He was an asshole.
I don't
Look at the way
remember.
he was treating the cops in part 6. Tell me he wasn't an asshole. We got a reputation of
They were being an asshole to him right off the bat. They thought he was he had problems. They didn't believe him, and then they thought he was a killer. That's not his fault. Trina, did you happen to watch the Never Hike Alone, the fan made thing?
No, I did. That did catch my eye though.
Oh my god, I was surprised. It's fast, like it's up there in one of my favorites. Because what they did was they continued Tommy Jarvis's story.
Oh,
And
nice.
And they gave it a nice wrap up too. I was like, holy shit, I was not expecting that. Yeah, it was solid. Like the first one, Never Hike Alone, I kind of watched from like the halfway point.
What about the snow one?
The snow one was excellent too. It's the first one of those 3. So if you are gonna watch them, never hike in the snow, and then do Never Hike Alone, and then Never Hike Alone 2. There, they're actually, the campaign is still running on Indiegogo, and it's going to be the Blu-ray. Like, they're limited. I think they only made like 1,300 or something. So you could actually get the. I think it's going to fulfill in January. From what I saw.
ETEP's probably got at least like 5 of them.
I don't. It's a good question. Yeah, never eat yellow snow. That's true time problem. But yeah, no. Oh my God, yeah, those movies were really, really good, especially that last one. That last one's the longest one. I think it's like an hour and 12 minutes.
Okay, Never Hike Alone. All right, yeah. Okay, so which one should I watch first?
Never Hike in the Snow.
Okay.
Do that one first.
That one came out first?
Well, what about the other one that Frankie was talking about? Jason Rises. He says it's technically not part of the series,
I haven't seen that, but the same guy who made those other 3, he's actually one of the producers on that. I haven't checked that one out yet. I do plan on seeing that one. I haven't had a chance yet.
But we have an update, Tommy. So I was incorrect. So Gap After Dark says Thomas Parnell, better known as Tommy, was the son of Pumpkinhead, deformed due to being spawned from a demon and presumably a mortal woman.
Nice.
Okay. Thank you for that, Gap.
Interesting. Okay, I dropped the Never Hike in the Snow. I dropped that one into our group.
Okay.
So watch that one first, and then the other ones. I could drop those links too if you want.
All right. So yeah, I think I think we covered the movie.
Yeah, there was excellent stuff. I like how they did the werewolves too. There's only one other movie where I've seen them do it like that, where it's like they're ripping off the human flesh and the furs underneath.
Yeah.
It was one in the 80s. It was kind of weird though.
Yeah.
Shit. I don't remember the name of it.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't think that was The Howling.
No, it wasn't
No.
The Howling. It was something like it had like a longer title.
Yeah.
Oh shit. I had a friend overseas who told me about it, and I saw it, but I can't recall the name of it.
I'm looking it up.
Yeah, it was like a brunette in a white dress, and I don't know if it was like a period piece too. You know?
Is it The Company of Wolves?
Yes, that's it. In the
Okay.
Company of Wolves. Have you seen that?
I don't think so, but it does sound familiar.
Yeah, that one. That's the only other time I've seen it where it's like, yeah, they're pulling off the human flesh, the werewolves underneath, and then they transform back, like they rip off the fur part. It was kind of crazy.
Oh, Soul Assassin's got a link for Never Hike Alone to Ghost Cut.
Oh, sweet.
Jason Rising from Gap After Dark.
Excellent.
Gap After Dark also says Never Hike Alone is in 2017. Never Hike in the Snow is 2020.
Mm-hmm.
Then Never Hike Alone 2.
Yeah. If you wanted to watch them kind of like in order, it would be the Snow one first. I haven't seen Rising, so I can't tell you. But out of those other 3, that main guy, Vincent DeSanti, was involved in. He wrote them, and he wrote and directed, I think, the Never Hike Alone 1 and 2. But the first one, he's just a writer on that one, I believe.
Okay. All right. So when you sit down to watch Star Wars,
you're right, Soul Assassin.
Do you watch them?
Van Helsing. Holy shit!
Do you watch them in chronological order or in release order?
Which is that? Say again.
When you watch Star Wars, do you watch them in chronological order or release order?
It depends. Last time I did it, I did go from episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah,
obviously I didn't watch the last 3.
I do not understand people. those don't even exist.
No.
I don't understand people who watch movies in chronological order unless they were released that way.
Okay.
Like there are some people that watch Star Wars in chronological order.
Mm-hmm.
That I
Every
can't.
time, you mean?
Yeah, like when like how, how like from like instead of release date, like
Mhm.
how 4 came out first, and then
Yeah.
like instead of watching them that way, they go from 1 to 6.
Well, I've seen Savages that went from like 6 to 5 to 4. Like, no.
Whoa.
That's retarded. Because if you're gonna do something, it's gonna be 4, 5, 6. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3. But yeah, it's it was the kind of, like I said, it was the lockdowns and whatnot. So I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a shot from episode 1 since I never seen the second one. I said, you know what? Let me do the first 3 together. And then after I saw the third one, I'm like, you know what? I'll just go into New Hope. And yeah, I know I did throw Rogue One in there. I did. So I went first 3, Rogue One, and then 4,
I
5,
keep telling you, you got to take Rogue One and throw it in the trash.
No, all you gotta do is hit it. You gotta hit mute when he starts to talk. In the when he gets Princess Leia, you just hit mute for a couple of seconds, and then it's fine.
Time Prophet. I only watched 3 Star Wars movies now, and he's talking about 7, 8, and 9.
Of course he is. Oh shit! I know it was just Star Wars. It wasn't New Hope.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember when I was in the theater. Matter of fact, the Super 8 reel I had, it just has Star Wars. It doesn't have New Hope. That wasn't done until much later.
Yep. Yeah, wasn't it after the 5th one came out? They went back.
Yeah, it was when Empire Strikes Back came out. They decided they were gonna retitle it.
Yeah, because correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't they do like a short re-release before the 5th one came out?
No, well, technically yes. So when they first came out with it, it wasn't playing world, like a, countrywide. It was actually in select theaters. So not everybody had a chance to see it. So they had re-released it the next year, and that's the year I got to see it.
Right. That's good.
All right. So, do you guys have any other thoughts or anything you'd like to say about this movie?
Yeah, I'm really still confused in that whole situation with the principal. He left a scarred kid who's apparently going to be a serial killer as well.
Yep.
So if they do a sequel, I mean, I'd be curious to see, if they're going to continue that story, because that kid, he never met his demise.
Yeah.
He was sitting out there. Didn't somebody bring him in?
Someone went over and sat with him. I think it was
I can't remember.
Oh man, was it the old guy? No, was it Krieg? No, Chris Krieg.
No. I think it was after that, because there was a part where they were kind of showing all the endings. So they had the girls, the werewolves in the car, like, kind of wiping their mouths and licking their chops. As you saw Rhonda with her little cart behind her and smiling and happy, like they're kind of crossing paths. As you see, they went all in front, like they passed by the house of the blonde in the robot suit when Krieg had opened the door, because it was kind of like from he looked out into what was going on, and he was kind of like, oh, okay, everyone's like, it was almost like that kind of Scrooge moment, when after he wakes up after being visited by the 3 ghosts, and then he's like, his whole attitude changes, and then he closes the door, and then he gives that knock at the door, and you see all the dead kids. Like, that was great.
Yeah.
Perfect ending that they were going to do there. But yeah, when all that's happened, they're kind of showing you a glimpse of everyone else's story. Kind of like, all right, and the night's finishing, they're all going home basically. And I think that's when they showed the kid on the step.
Yeah. Yeah. The kid on the step was near. It wasn't the very last thing to happen, was it? I think the last thing we
No.
saw was Sam walking over to the couple we see in the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because he's going. He's about to go kill her.
Yeah.
Yeah, because she said that she's already blown out the candles and the pumpkin, and that pissed him off. And he looked down and he still had his lollipop that was had a sharp edge to it.
Yep. Implying that he was.
Yeah, because we see in the beginning that's the first thing that happens. He slashes her throat with it or whatever.
Yep.
Yeah, you like it always takes a lollipop out and bites them off, and then
Mm-hmm. What was that same one from the inside the guy's house? Remember, he takes the one bite of it and then he walks out the door.
That was his lollipop from his sack.
Mm-hmm.
He must have got it somewhere trick or treating.
Yeah. Oh yeah, wasn't it the? It was that one old lady when all the kids were grabbing one, and then he's the last one, and he's just looking at her. And she, go ahead, take one. And then right away he snatched into the bowl.
Yeah.
I think that was it, if I remember correctly.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one who's drunk.
Yeah. They were having the ones that were having the orgy inside, the furry party, basically.
Oh, Gab, thank you. That's quite the compliment. I appreciate that. I'm glad you enjoy the streams.
Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah, this movie was a lot of fun. Did a great job. I did.
Yeah, Soul Assassin. I think you're right. So he says I think it implied for the fans to imagine what happened after the movie, like the kid being alone in the 30s, finding the wife and fat kid buried in the back, and whatever they like do with the heads after they carve them and stuff. Yeah, I think we're just kind of meant to ponder about, okay, so what happens with that kid now? Because he's definitely a serial killer.
Yeah, he's gonna have to be for sure. I mean, the kid was like so excited when they were stabbing the fat. Like, yeah, it was crazy too because the body was moving. It was still moving when he was burying it, the principal, but yet the head was in the basement.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
Yep. And he's all about like, make sure we open up the eyes first, like crazy.
Yeah, making it sound like it's the pumpkin, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
Oh, real quick too, if you want some extra knowledge, so that writer director Daughtry, apparently since they announced it back in 2013, but they said that's when it was first got announced. But he directed the Christmas horror hit Krampus.
Yes, I did read that.
He also did 2018's MonsterVerse, Godzilla King of Monsters, and he wrote an HBO Hellraiser TV series that never materialized. So he put a lot of time and effort into that, and then it never happened. So that's why things kind of, I guess, it was on the back burner for the Trick or Treat. But then in 2022, it came up again, and it looks like it's in very active development. Let me see if there's any more info.
I am so happy to hear that.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
So what do you expect out of the next one? You expect to see more Sam?
I hope so.
I kind of hope they do a few other things too. Like maybe since they introduced so many different like characters, like maybe they do something with the werewolves too. Like whether it's like a further back and it's more of a prequel to this first one. Like do something else with those characters too. It doesn't have to be the same characters, but you know what I mean? The werewolves that they came from.
Yep.
Yeah, that would be cool. Well, they said the comic book series it expanded the world in a great way, and he was still very much excited to get back into that universe.
Gap asked if I have the figure from the movie, so that's why I pulled this up for him. Yep,
Yeah,
I
I almost bought it, and then I was thinking, you know what? Things are tight this month. I better not buy another figure.
yeah.
But I seen this one, and did you see the standalone one too? It's on the like the blister.
I saw it online. I've haven't seen it in stores.
I seen it in store. It's a lot different than this one. Like it's actually a cloth sack on his head.
Yeah.
And he's got the cloth clothes, and he's much larger than this one.
Yeah, isn't he like 8 inches tall?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
The so you know how NECA does some of the figures in clothes,
Mm-hmm.
and they're a little bit bigger. So
Right.
they have this guy. They have Sam in one of those blister pack types, and he's tall. He's like the size of a regular NECA figure, and he's got the footed pajamas on, like actual clothes,
Oh wow.
with a sack and stuff, and the sack that he carries is burlap. I'm actually, at first I wasn't interested, but I have a couple of issues with this figure, and so I am thinking about getting the clothed ones. The clothed one, because I got a concern. We can talk about it on the toy stream tomorrow, though.
Yeah, there's some cool stuff to talk about on the toy stream too tomorrow. There was some awesome things that I seen at.
Yeah, I got some stuff that I seen from Hasbro that I'm going to be bringing up.
Yeah, there are some pretty cool things that got showcased and released and whatnot. On the NECA side of things, whoo, yeah, there's some beauties in that one.
And thank you for sharing all this link and all the other links that you've shared tonight, Soul Assassin. Oh, my internet's starting to lag and be stupid like CenturyLink.
I'm actually surprised. This has actually been fairly stable throughout this whole stream.
I know. I'm glad you were able to stay.
Right.
So one thing I did want to mention was, as I was reading through the trivia for this movie, that was intentionally written, is that each segment is told through a perspective of like us growing up. So we see the kid who, like, the creepy kid who wants to carve heads instead of pumpkins.
Mm-hmm.
So there's told from that as a child's perspective, and then so that's like told through a small child's perspective, and then we see like those girls that, not just girls, I keep saying that, but the kids that go to the quarry, they kind of aged out of trick-or-treating.
Mm-hmm.
So they're at that age. I don't know what you would call it, kind of tween age.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and then you've got the teenagers that is all about like lust and sex and everything. The werewolves.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see the story through an adult perspective, which is the curmudgeon who doesn't give out candy or anything, Krieg, who ends up getting beat up by Sam.
Well, technically, what about the young couple first, and then
it'd
be the old man?
Yeah, it'd be like the regular adults,
Yeah.
and then your senior citizen type.
Yeah, they're kind of their age is kind of it's kind of a weird age where they're like in between, they're at that adult stage too where they're handing out candy, but they're also going to parties, so they're not quite at the curmudgeon age yet. So they're kind of they're in between, like, I don't know what age you would consider that. It's like it's adult, but it's on the younger side.
That'd be young adults.
Yeah. So I thought that was pretty cool that he wrote it like that. Like, when you think of all the things that he thought of when he was writing this movie, he really there was really a lot of creative process into it. It wasn't just like slapping a horror movie together and calling it a day.
Right.
So I appreciate that, and we don't really see that very often at all in movies, really, like all movies anymore.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that for sure.
Oh, that's so. Time Prophet is saying that they don't give out sweets at all in Britain.
Really?
So, do you guys have a different tradition, or do you just not do sweets?
I know, like a couple of years back or something, like Australia never did it, and now they started to. Kind of more recently.
Well, yeah, because they started getting the shipments of bug treats.
Chocolate covered crickets.
Ugh.
Ugh, nasty.
That's not good. People can't even digest that stuff.
Ugh.
The only thing I would eat was a damn worm that would come in the mezcal bottles. That's the best part, man. Do you know how strong that thing is? After sitting in that tequila or the mezcal, I mean, it's basically tequila.
Yeah.
But after sitting in that shit for all the time that it's sitting there, that thing is strong as hell.
Oh man.
Okay, so Soul Assassin says, yeah, he says, I remember the transition from trick-or-treater to escorting trick-or-treaters. After the kids got their candy, the hot chick handed them out, asked me my age, and replied, I'm old enough, honey, and smiled. Wait, did she hit on you?
He was about to give her some treats.
Those worms and tequilas mess you up. Now, technically, it's not tequila. Yeah.
No, it's mezcal. It's the only thing really different about it is actually where it's produced. That's really the only difference between mezcal and tequila.
I used to love tequila. Oof, I can't do that anymore. Okay, so any more thoughts, you guys?
I don't think so.
All right.
I think I hit everything I wanted to hit.
Yeah. Good stuff, though. Yeah, thank you. This is a good surprise. It's not a movie I don't think I would have seen if we weren't going to review it. And I'm happy that I saw it. It was really cool.
And see, it's funny. It's one of those movies that I would have just passed up constantly. And then I happened to just come across it one day and I was like, what the hell? I'll watch it. And then I watched it again a few weeks back. So when she said she was going to do this movie, I was like, oh, great. I'm already caught up.
Nice.
Excellent.
That's awesome.
Well, I think the other reason that I decided to give it another watch too is I kept seeing the Sam figure all over the place. I was like, you know, if I'm even going to consider that figure, I got to watch the movie again. And, you know, it's just one of those weird rituals I sometimes have before I'll buy a figure. If I'm not sure, I'll go back and watch the movie associated with. Do I really want it? Did I like the movie that much?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'll do the same thing. I won't get a figure if I haven't seen like the movie or series or whatever behind it.
Yeah.
Because I gotta feel like when I see the figure, I gotta feel something for it. Like, oh yeah, that was an awesome show, or that was an awesome movie.
Yeah, and there's been some that it's like the movie was really bad, but I still like the character or the design and the figure. You know, like Bride of Frankenstein. That movie's not a good movie, but
it's not. Yeah,
but it's an iconic look, and you know, it's still part of like the Universal Monsters franchise, which is great.
Yeah.
That's like the Phantom of the Opera. Like even if he had the mask, which he should have.
Yeah.
The figure looks pretty epic, but I never liked that story, and I never liked the movie, so it's not a figure I would ever buy for any reason.
I hear you. Yeah, I passed on him too. He's one I would have gotten like years ago, but now it's like, yeah, I don't really need that one. Like the
Time Prophet. Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Time Prophet. He says I would buy a Trina figure. If you want that, go to like a local comic shop or whatever and get a Bride of Frankenstein figure.
You think you look like the Bride of Frankenstein figure?
A little bit. I feel like something that's been hobbled together.
Oh my God, tell me about it. If I could get some replacement parts, I think I would do that.
Yeah, for real.
Jesus.
So that actually will be something I'll be bringing up tomorrow about custom figure creation that one of the companies are doing. So.
Oh yeah. Oh sweet.
Janet, nice to see you. Hope you're doing well tonight.
Hey Janet.
What's up, Janet?
And good night, Gap. It was nice to have you here. Hope you have a good night.
You will.
Yeah, have a great night.
And then okay, so Time Prophet thinks The Bride of Frankenstein was an excellent movie.
I guess if you're high. I don't know. I wasn't not a fan of it. Yeah, it should have been Bride of Frankenstein's monster. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, his name is actually in the book. I believe it's Adam.
Yep. It's Adam. And I don't think she gets a name. I can't remember though.
I don't think so.
She should she's not even his bride because he kills her.
Yeah, she rejects him.
Yeah.
She yells.
Yeah, and then he kills them. He kills them both.
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet over here.
Was he smoking in that one? I only saw it like once.
I can't remember now. Yeah, we're definitely going to be doing all the Universal
Oh, she
monsters.
did have a name.
Oh, she did.
Yeah, Elizabeth.
Oh,
When
that,
she's alive.
yep.
No, but yeah, true to his word, the monster murders Frankenstein's new wife Elizabeth. So that technically her name is still Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Yeah, I do remember reading that now. Oh, Scrambles, that's cool. He says he calls the guitar he built Frankie short for Frankenstein because it's made of random parts.
That's cool.
Nice.
RR's getting offended. She was a stuck-up bitch and rejected her man.
Oh man.
All right. Well, this was fun. I had a great time reviewing this movie, and I recommend it. Anyone who hasn't seen it, if you're into anthology type horror, definitely give it a shot.
Or you know what? This is one of those few rare circumstances when you're talking about a legit Halloween inspired movie.
Yeah.
Because there's so few of them out there. So I mean, if you want a good Halloween horror movie, this is probably one of the better ones that you could watch.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
it's funny how there's not a lot of Halloween themed horror.
I mean, obviously you have the Halloween franchise itself, but outside of that, this what other real Halloween themed movies are there? There's not many.
There isn't many.
that could have been easy to do anyway with like Friday the 13th. It could have been Friday the 31st.
Right. A bunch of kids could get together at Camp Crystal Lake for a Halloween bonfire bash or something.
Yeah, but Friday the 13th has such a connotation to bad things happening.
Oh,
so.
I know.
Yeah.
I was making the joke that they could
Alive because of the Knights Templar.
That's right.
Yep, that's right. Where did we learn that? It was recently.
There you go. On my show.
Yes.
Well, I had talked about it before too. Yeah, because the king of France, he had actually he owed them a lot of money.
Yep.
And the prevailing theory is he didn't want to pay the money off, so he had them all executed.
Yeah, they were also afraid of them because they were very powerful and they had a lot of other connections. They started the banking system. It was the Knights Templar.
Well, yeah, when they were traveling to the Holy Land, when they were traveling to Jerusalem, they would get robbed by people on the road. So what the Knights Templar did is they actually took their money at their point of leaving, and they would write them a writ, and they would take that writ with them. And then once they got to Jerusalem, they would hand it over to another Templar knight who would actually cash out the amount that they for the writ. So
Yeah.
it was almost like a form of credit too when you look at it, because because they did charge them for that service. So it was almost like they were giving them like a form of credit in a way, and they were just charging them.
Yeah.
Like Templar traveler checks.
Yeah, pretty amazing stuff. Yeah, all that stuff is super interesting to me. But like I said, I'm gonna have some of that in one of my books, which is gonna be awesome. I had done some research too. There's some specific ones that had some awesome stories and connections to things. So I'm gonna be you'll see it in one of my books, which is gonna be pretty sweet.
They should have had Templar Express. I think that would have worked out really well here.
Yeah, so Soul Assassin says that Halloween isn't a holiday in Britain.
Well, it's not a real holiday here either. I mean, because nothing's closed down. It's not a federal holiday.
Well, it is a Christian holiday though, for All Saints Day.
No, that's All Saints Eve. All Saints Day is the next day.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. All Hallows Eve and then All Saints Day. Yeah, you're right. But yeah, obviously, like, we celebrated the way non-Christians celebrated it, and even then we're far off from that as well.
Yeah.
I mean,
it became very commercialized and a little
yeah.
The candies
gave it a Western flair.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I want to thank everybody for being here. We have to figure out what movie we'll do next. I've been having a hard time this month. But nevertheless, we will be here again next Wednesday, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern. But yeah, I want to thank you guys on my panel. Tommy, thank you so much for being here. Do you want to tell everybody what you got going on?
I'm more than likely going to be an asshole today, tomorrow, and the day after. But other than that, I'll be doing some BattleBot stuff. The pigs will be taking their time in video slots, and of course, doing toy reviews. That's what we enjoy doing. And of course, tomorrow we are going to have Collectible Pass. I'm going to be talking about a couple horror figures that I've finally got off my ass and started reviewing. This is the time to start reviewing them, and it's kind of the reason why I held off doing them for all this damn time. But I got a couple of good ones coming tomorrow. We're going to be doing the Puppet Master figures finally. And there's some misses to them, but yeah, more hits than misses. Thank God, because I don't think I could have dealt with any more disappointment like I did last week's show.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that'll be fun. Looking forward to tomorrow's toy stream. And now, Vinny, tell everybody what you got going on.
Yeah, I'll be on that toy stream as well. We're going to talk about some cool stuff. I'm going to try to get another figure reviewed. I should have two things hopefully by tomorrow. One's already all uploaded. I just got to make a little title card thing for it. But yeah, I mean, I think that thing's ready to go. And yeah, Friday we're still going to be doing. We're going to be doing one of the Friday Underground streams. We'll talk about some stuff. There's more psychotic things going on in the world. We'll try to find some other cool stuff to talk about too. I know, like, Tony's he's excited. That new Mario game is going to be dropping, I think, on Friday.
Don't be a bigot, Tone.
Don't be no bigot, Tone. But yeah, I'd like to get that. I got to see how much it's going for and everything else too, because shit is tight right now. Lately I haven't really been buying new figures unless I'm selling something else.
And usually tight is a good thing, but not in these circumstances.
Yeah. I mean, that's Rumble talk, but yeah, we're still gonna have some fun. And the art book, the Volume 3 art book, is almost all put together. So I'll be working on the campaign pretty soon as well, and hopefully, if I don't launch it by the end of October, it'll be the start of November. But yeah,
Okay.
I'll definitely be getting this next campaign going.
Nice.
I got to make sure.
If you don't want it by then, I'm going to come down to your house and start posting fake bills all over your windows.
You're gonna put what on my windows?
Start posting fake bills all over your windows, like fake Monopoly money or something. I'm not even going to get the real Monopoly money. I'm going to get that cheap shit from the Dollar Tree and paste it all over your windows.
Are you gonna write on that fake money?
No, I'm just going to put ribbit on all of it.
Oh man.
Oh, the ridiculous drama farming shit. But yeah, no, we're gonna keep it genuine and fun as we always do. We'll take some funny shots wherever they're needed, but overall, this was a blast as always. Looking forward to all that. I might be popping over on ETEPS for a little bit too tonight, since I think Draven's working, so I don't think we're doing anything on his channel. But we got some other stuff coming up, so stay tuned, everyone. It's always a fun time here.
Awesome. Yeah. Check out ETEP's channel. And Time Prophet. It's funny that you mentioned Phantasm because recently ETEP and I did a review of the franchise. It's up on his channel. And Saturday I'm having, I don't know if you remember Corey Sir Talks a Lot.
Oh yeah.
Well, he's going to be, I'm going to be like I'm doing Phantasm, the first movie. I'm doing that review with him this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern on my channel. So you can check that out. It's funny because I said we got to do a movie review together, and I was like, you pick the movie because I'll review anything. I mean, we've reviewed some doozies at the beginning when I started the channel. And he picked Phantasm, and I was like, sure, why not? I love those movies. So yeah, we're doing Phantasm. But yeah, that should be fun. So if you can't catch us live, it'll be up on the channel after.
I sure hope you don't wind up with any gremlins in your back room causing troubles.
And Janet, I love you too. Thank you so much for being here. It's awesome to see you. And we get some good suggestions like Charlie Brown, The Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
I love that one. I was actually looking at that just recently because they always re-release it right around Halloween time, and it's usually the only time of year you can find it. And I seen it in a few stores. So I was like, oh man, I don't have that one in my collection. I have the Christmas one, and I don't remember picking that one up.
Yeah,
there's a few of those Charlie Brown mini movies that I really wanted to get. The other one is Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. I need to get a copy of that one too.
Yeah.
Did you ever see the YouTube one where like they're all kind of flipping out and cursing and stuff?
No,
I guess not. It actually got like a thumbs up from the Schultz family. Like they thought it was hilarious.
Really?
Yeah, it's all black and white though. It's like a fan made it, but it looks incredible. And they said that the family loved it and laughed their asses off. I think he might have seen it before he passed away too.
That's funny.
But yeah, it's because it was older. It was like someone's like college project. I think like Lucy meets her demise or something too. I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff that happened in it. But it's on YouTube. I forgot the name of it.
Bone, that it's perfectly fine. It's good to see you though. Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, absolutely.
And let's see. Hey, Chaos Soy, how you doing? Good to see you.
What up?
People are calling for a special stream about Halloween cartoons. Maybe that's something we should talk about.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, we'll definitely be talking about it. Thank you guys for your suggestions. Oh,
there was
Janet,
a lot of fun. they're always a lot of fun to do. Those cartoon ones. I've done a few on
Yeah.
Going Old School, and it's just a blast too because the cartoons are so easy to get clips for.
Mhm.
So you can actually show off what you're talking about, and 9 times out of 10, they, unless it's narrative stuff in the beginning of a cartoon, they usually won't bother you with the copyrights on that.
Nice. Janet, you are you are one of the nicest people I know, and I'm not even kidding. Like, she's such a sweetheart.
So
But
you're
yeah.
the nicest person. I'm the worst.
That
This
is not
beautiful.
Apparently, I must be John Cena because you know, no one could see me.
true.
Crazy.
You're China.
Sorry.
Well, I'm thankful for the suggestions, guys. We'll definitely be talking about these, and we'll definitely have something figured out for next week. But yeah, I want to thank you all so much for being here. You know, it means a lot to me. You guys make the show so much fun. The interactions and everything. You guys are awesome. I just really appreciate you. And hi, Frankie, how's it going? But yeah, I hope you all have a great night. And I'm pretty sure ETEP's doing something. So go over there and say this is a real horror raid. And yeah, I hope you all have a great night.